Hello, and thank you for tuning into the channel. Today, we'll take a look at Christopher Lee's top 10 performances. Before you begin, be sure to like us and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more future updates. Number 10, Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, 2003. Saruman's sequences following his defeat at Orthanc were deleted from the theatrical version of Return of the King, which enraged both Christopher Lee and his fans. They were, however, restored in stunning detail for the film's extended edition, which is still the greatest way to watch all three films to this day. Despite the fact that Saruman's demise in Return of the King differs significantly from the literary source material, many fans thought it was an enhancement on the plot. Of course, Lee delivered a brief but unforgettable performance that culminated in his character being impaled on a spike. Number 9, Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, 2001. The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring is a 2001 epic fantasy adventure film directed by Peter Jackson, set in Middle-earth. The story tells of the Dark Lord Sauron, who seeks the One Ring, which contains part of his soul, in order to return to power. Lee made his big screen debut in the first chapter of The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. When he played the evil wizard Saruman to perfection, Lee gathered the greatest elements of his nasty portrayals over the years and condensed them into a performance fit for the ages. Saruman would appear to be a good wizard with close ties to Gandalf the Grey at first, but audiences would soon realize that he had been corrupted by the Dark Lord Sauron and his own ambition for the One Ring. Number 8, Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, 2002. While Saruman played a part in Mordor's quest to destroy the world of men, The Two Towers, the second installment of the trilogy, would go far further. Saruman is the main villain in this film, and he orchestrates an attack on Rohan, a weak nation. Continuing the plot of the Fellowship of the Ring, the film intercuts three storylines. Frodo and Sam continue their journey towards Mordor to destroy the One Ring, meeting and joined by Gollum, the ring's former keeper. It was an opportunity for Christopher Lee to build on his performance in Fellowship by making Saruman a major figure who held the fate of mankind in his hands. Fortunately, his plan was foiled, putting an end to his ambitions for good. Number 7, Jinnah, 1998. Christopher Lee was no stranger to performing characters that were not related to renowned monsters or evil villains. In fact, his portrayal of Pakistan's founder, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, is still considered one of his greatest. The guide takes Jinnah to 1947 where, at the Cromwell Conference with Lord Mountbatten, Jinnah demanded a homeland for Indian Muslims. In this film, Lee abandons his Hammer horror heritage in favor of portraying a straight-up honest man trying to broker peace between a Hindu majority and a Muslim minority, and he does so with conviction, elegance, and style. Number 6, Olympus Force, The Key, 1988. It's difficult to comprehend how Olympus Force, The Key received a 7.9 IMDb rating when, by today's standards, it would barely pass muster with audiences. It was a film about Olympian gods, who go up against a group of terrorists seeking to destroy the planet that generated virtually no money at the box office, and has largely been forgotten. As always, Lee gives a fantastic performance as Philly, infusing a little of humor into a role that he'd later reprise in Gremlins 2, The New Batch in 1990. It's a monument to Lee's dedication to each of his jobs, regardless of budget. Number 5, The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey, 2012. Despite the fact that Peter Jackson's Hobbit sequel trilogy failed to match Lord of the Rings' extraordinary critical acclaim, fans were pleased to see Christopher Lee reprise his role as Saruman. Lee portrays the White Wizard in this film as he was before his descent into power and depravity. Despite this, Lee manages to bring some of Saruman's arrogance and stubbornness to the role, which helps to bridge the gap between the two versions of the character and provides some foreshadowing. Unfortunately, by 2012, Lee was showing signs of physical and mental decline, which the 90-year-old actor struggled to conceal. He overcame his adversity to put up another outstanding performance. Number 4, Star Wars, Episode III Revenge of the Sith, 2005. Star Wars Episode III: Revenge of the Sith is a 2005 American epic space opera film written and directed by George Lucas. Fans were overjoyed to see the renowned Lee take on a part in a galaxy far, far away, and Lee seemed to enjoy himself as well, despite the fact that his part as Count Dooku was featured prominently in Attack of the Clones. Revenge of the Sith received more critical acclaim. Lee appears in only one scene in the film, in which he rematches with Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker, whom he thrashed in the previous film. Fans were disappointed to see him leave so soon, but Lee's performance will be remembered for a long time. Number 3. Hugo, 2011. Hugo, Martin Scorsese's wildly ambitious fantasy picture, may not have made the box office money the director had hoped for, but critics hailed it for its classic-style tale and stellar ensemble, which included Christopher Lee as Monsieur Labisse. Following a physical collision that causes Labisse to drop his books, Labisse gives little Hugo Cabret a Robin Hood book that was originally intended for his godson. Hugo considers how living in a machine-driven world forces us to find our own personal meaning and place in the world. Despite not being considered science fiction, Martin Scorsese's 2011 film Hugo uses a machine as its central metaphor to convey themes that are very personal to humanity. Number 2. The Wicker Man, 1973. Lee's portrayal of Lord Summerisle in the classic thriller The Wicker Man has become one of his most recognizable and well-loved roles. This film about a pagan cult that recruits a Christian cop to seek for a missing girl on a secluded island is both fascinating and unsettling. Christopher Lee has stated that The Wicker Man is his favorite of his own films, and that his performance as Lord Summerisle, the cult leader, is one of his best. Lee, like most of the other performers, worked for free on the film and even spent his own money on a promotional trip to help promote it. Christopher Lee pulls out all the stops in this film, combining comedy, prestige, and sinister foreboding in a way that befits a man of Lord Summerisle's standing. By the time the final, terrifying moment occurs, the viewer has a clear understanding of how insane and delusional the character is. Number 1. The Last Unicorn, 1982. Christopher Lee praised Peter S. Beagle's novel The Last Unicorn, and he was delighted to provide his voice to the film adaptation as King Haggard, a madman who orders the fearsome Red Bull to gather all of the world's unicorns for him. During an Australian television interview, Lee even compared his performance in the film to the closest he'd ever been to playing King Lear. As the camera swung around to capture Beagle's astonished reaction, Christopher caught his eyes and winked in a show of admiration for the author. This concludes today's video. What are your thoughts on our list? Please let us know what you think in the comments section below. Also, don't forget to like us and subscribe to our YouTube channel for future updates.